Okay, so you're new to Flash, and I wanted to start you off with kind of a little real-world application about how you use Flash in a real project or something like that. So I'm going to go to my website, and here's danscourses.com, and I just added a Flash movie to my website. So if you scroll down here on the left I added this skyscraper ad that says, hey, need help, go to Dan's Courses forum. Right? And if you click on the link here on this little Flash movie, this is the Flash movie right here. Okay, this rectangular movie right here. If you click on the forum link, it takes you to my forum where you could post, make posts, and get help, and all kinds of stuff, and read other people's posts and see what other people are doing and how they're solving problems. Okay, so the question is though, how do you make a little Flash movie like this and put them in on a web page? Well, we'll talk about putting in the web page later, but right now I'll show you how to make a movie like this. And you may be asked in the future to make a advertisement, a banner advertisement for a client. In this case, the client is myself, and I've made this advertisement for myself for my own website. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, this is the file that we're going to be building, and I just want to lay it out for you first so you can see where we're going to go with this. This is the Flash work area, and you can see this file is built on 3 layers. I'm going to show you the layers really quickly, and then we'll start building this file. You've got the background layer, and as you can see on the background layer, what I can do is I can highlight it, and then the background gets selected. Also, I can turn the eyeball on and off, and you see there's the background layer showing and then disappearing. I can also lock this layer so that I can't select it and change it or alter it, right? So I'll just lock that for right now. So now I can't select this background, but if I unlock it, I can select it, right? Deselect, select, deselect, select. I'm using the select tool here. All right, a couple little things here. Then on this next layer, I've got I've labeled it to say text and button, and you can see I've got the text here, and then the button is right here. And if I select this one, it's got a blue box around it, and up here it says Properties Button, and it's got a name called Button 1. All right, and then on this top layer, it's called Actions. I labeled it Actions, and this is a small script that helps the button to work so that when you click on it, it opens a web page. And to see that, you just go to Windows and you go to Actions, and it shows you the action that I basically copied and pasted right here. And don't be afraid, it's not a big deal. It's just a URL here and a little short script, no biggie. And I'll be showing you how to do all this. I'm going to close that. And what we're going to do is we'll start off with a blank file and we'll build this up from scratch. All right, I'm going to close this file so we can start over. So File, and let's see here. Not exit, File, Close. There it is. All right. All right, so I close that file. And also I'm going to go to the default window space. So Window, Workspace, and I'll say Window, Workspace, Essentials. I think this is the default. So when you first open Flash, it will look like this. All right, so you opened up Flash, and this is what you saw. All right, and what we're going to need is to start the new project and to build that project from scratch, we need to create a new file. So the question is, which one of these are you going to click on when you create a new file? Well, you can also just hit File, New, and that will work also. But this is just a kind of a quick launcher buttons that will help you to get started. You've got some templates here, you've got open recent items here, you've got some tutorials here, and then you have some choices for what kind of file you want to open to begin with. We're going to start the script that I wrote. The little get URL script that opened the web page was done in ActionScript 2. So we're going to need to get a File New ActionScript 2 since I used an older scripting language to do that. So normally when you open up a Flash movie, you're either going to have an ActionScript 3 movie or an ActionScript 2 movie, typically. The newer is ActionScript 3. The older scripting language is 2. In this case, we'll do 2. So I'll click there, and you'll see a blank document. This is kind of like the stage area This is going to be the size of your Flash movie, and this workspace is the new Flash workspace in CS5, but I prefer an older classic workspace like CS4 or Flash 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Window, and I'll go to Workspace, and I'll go click on Classic, and I prefer that for myself. And when you do that, it'll look like this. Probably your toolbar will look something like this over here. So you have this long row of tools. All right, and so it should look like this. What you can do is you can click and drag these little windows so that they fit to your liking. So I like to drag this over and put my tools in 2 rows because that's kind of like old school. You can also take this window and you can make it bigger or smaller by just putting your cursor on this edge and then dragging. You can also move the layer 1 panel over here so you have more room for labeling your layers. So I had moved mine over to here to make more room so I could put a long name for my layer. Alright, so this is the classic view mode, and the first thing we're going to want to do is change the size of our Flash movie that we're going to be making to the size of that skyscraper ad that I had. So to do that, what you're going to do is, first of all, I've got my select tool, I've got the background here. Click on the background, you'll notice the property window defaults to the document property. So this is the properties for the document, for this document that we're creating. Now this property window will change depending on what's on the stage. So for instance, if I take my paintbrush and paint something here, right? Or I've got something painted there, and I select it, the property window changes to a shape, right? So it reflects whatever I have selected. I'll delete that using my keyboard. Also, if I grab a tool, if I click the text tool, notice the property window changes to the text tool, right? So the settings for the text tool, right? So I hit the select tool, and instantly I don't have anything selected, so the properties goes to the document. And a couple of important properties here. FPS, frames per second, is set to 24, the default size 550 by 400, and the stage color, the background color, is set to white. You can change all those things. If you click here, you can pick a different color for your background. If you click here, you can click and slide and change the frame rate for animations that might happen on the stage. And if you click here, you can change all of those things. So I'm going to click Edit, and I'm going to change the dimensions of my movie to 200 by, I think I did 200 by 500 before. So 200 by 500, and click OK. And you'll notice that now I've got this narrow stage or background to work with. So I'm going to be making a Flash piece here that will be going as part of a website, maybe as like an ad or something, banner ad. All right, and so that's stage 1, is setting up your document.